The symptoms of Parkinson's disease led one rock and roll drummer to change his tune, and his new sound will soothe your soul. Hi, I'm Kiara Fry, a student at Point Park University. Welcome to Look Who's Here. Today's episode was shot at the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. It's part of our work to include people with disabilities in covering disability issues. Now, to interviewer Marnee Miltenberger.
What made you want to become a drummer when you were a kid?
My mother would take me to see a parade and just the marching drums.
Okay.
I think it started there, and then watching on TV the Ed Sullivan Show. There's a lot of drummers got their start right there, seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan and seeing Ringo Starr. And
oh, that inspired you.
yeah, I think that cinched it for me.
All right.
There's the cool guy on the riser playing drum set, all the girls and the fame. So it kind of started there. I didn't actually get a drum set until I was 15.
Wow.
And I learned pretty quickly. I picked up very fast. Before I got my drum set, I used to set up pots and pans, and I had a little tin that I'd put a Frisbee on top. That was my snare drum. And I'd practice along to the radio. So I had a little background by the time I got to the drum set. And by the time I was 16 and a half, I was actually playing in a lounge band 3 nights a week.
What famous people have you played with?
I went to Nashville for a little while. I pretty much starved. I lived in a friend's basement for a while until I got a break. And this record label was willing to use me for some short tours. And I got to play with country singer Mel Tillis at that time. And
How'd that go?
it went really well. The problem at that time was he would work for a little bit, and then Mel Tillis would go off and do a movie, or he'd be doing his writing. So I wouldn't work a lot in between this. So I kind of got tired of that and decided to come home for a little while. And I was tiring of touring on a bus all the time. I spent a few Christmases in hotel rooms, things of that nature. And then as I got home, I met what became my wife, and got settled in and decided I didn't want to travel anymore. I wanted to settle in and have a good marriage and buy a home, and the whole security thing, have the picket fence, and settle down, just play locally, which is what I did. And I worked full time through the 80s, and I still played part-time. And up till about 2 years ago, it just got a little too difficult with the Parkinson's. It was very difficult to play and haul all the equipment around, the challenges of that. And the work was really waning at that point. There's not as much work as there used to be. So I retired from it, and that's when I discovered the Rav drum.
Okay, all right.
And it's really surprisingly taken place of what I missed playing drum set. All that experience I've had transferred over into this instrument, which I was really surprised about. And the great thing about it is I'm doing all my own material now. I'm not doing just top 40 or playing doo-wop for show bands and things of that nature. I can now do my own original material and actually get hired for it. And it's a great feeling, especially when you see people are benefiting from it.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Very good thing. Thank you, Lenny, and good luck with your drumming and healing.
Thanks so much.
You're
Great
welcome.
to be here.
Today's program featured Marnee Miltenberger. She took part in an All Abilities Media workshop at the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. We are looking for more people with disabilities who want to try sitting in the host seat. Learn more at lookwho'shere.org. And while you're there, check out other episodes of Look Who's Here. This program's founding host, Erin Gannon, is featured in a fun, footloose carpool karaoke style video with captivating conversation. I'm Kiara Fry. Thanks for watching.